This is a poem about being cool, which I think is extremely important. It's called Mexican Poetry and Bourbon, but No Cigarettes. I read Mexican poetry and drink bourbon alone in my room on the nights when I am alone in my room because I like to be cool. And it's important to be cool even when no one is watching, because that's when it's really authentic. Besides, the next day, when someone asks you what you did last night, you can say, I read Mexican poetry and drank bourbon, and they'll say, that's cool. So, you guys are probably familiar with the free hugs movement of the guys standing outside with signs that say free hugs, and this is a poem I wrote in response to that. It's called $1 Hugs. $1 hugs. Some hugs are just better. Those other guys, they don't hug like this. After one of my hugs, your family's embraces will feel like an 8th grade slow dance. Which is okay, because I also give private lessons. $1 hugs. Would you sleep with a free prostitute or free gigolo? Then why would you let one hug you? $1 hugs. It's all in the wrist. Hugs, not drugs. They're cheaper. $1 hugs, 6 for $5. Come on, I'll hug all your friends. Do you see all my return customers? I'm taking out an IPO next week. You have a chance to get in on the ground floor. $1 hugs. I once hugged a man in a wheelchair and he grew wings and started to fly. He still comes back every couple of weeks. $1 hugs. Get them before they run out. This poem is called The Baker. His hands are still chalk white from baking the loaves that will go in tomorrow's front window, but before he goes to his bed to lay soft powdery kisses on the belly of his wife, he stops in the sourdough moonlight gushing through his bedroom window, and he claps his hands. He slaps his hands, moves his hands like he's translating Tupac to the deaf, and all that flour hangs suspended in the night air like someone just had a hoedown in a field full of dandelions. He feels like he's standing in the middle of a cloud and he doesn't know whether to throw a lightning bolt or make it rain or yell out something encouraging to all those sleepy airline pilots lost in the fog and so far from home. No. This is what he decides to do. He tiptoes down the squeaky hallway into the fresh pink painted room and reaches down into the crib with his soft baker's hands to pick up his daughter, this little loaf of a person, and carry her back to the window, and the two of them stand there in the midst of all that flour dissolving into the sourdough moon, and they share that moment that only snow shovelers and ice fishermen know. That moment when the snow stops falling and those last few flakes just amble gently to the ground like tiny invisible initials in the corner of a painting done all in white.